Greetings, everybody. What's up? It's now time for another edition of Equals Midlife Crisis Squad. All right, dude. So this is normally not my bag, but I'm a sucker for anything Egyptian. I've studied Egyptian stuff for many, many years, and so anything Egyptian I love, anything ninja I love. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get this. Now, this isn't a standard figure per se, okay? This is a model kit where you have to build this figure, both of them, the mummy robot and the half-naked lady. Now, that's okay. So there are two versions of this. There is a standard version and the DX version. Okay, so I got the DX version. Now, here's the dealio. What's the dealio? The dealio. Okay, so if you get the standard version, it's just her. And not only is it just her, but the some of the accents, like the jewels, the horns, stuff like that, it's all solid color, like it's solid plastic. If you get the DX version, then these jewels and horns and stuff are clear. This is kind of a clear plastic, which is cool, right? And then, of course, with the DX version, you get big ass robot, which also very cool. The other things you get is you get multiple faces that are already pre-painted and pre-sculpted. Now, this is important because if you get the standard version, you only get one pre-painted sculpted face. You do get blank faces, but they're not sculpted, meaning like they don't have a sculpted in mouth or anything like that. But you do get decals where you can, make the face you want. But again, it's going to look a little different because when you put the decal for, say, the mouth isn't sculpted. So it's kind of weird and flat. With the DX version, you do get one blank face and a sheet full of decals, so you can actually make your own kind of at least one interesting facial expression that you may want. And the robot comes with multiple facial things as well. Now, I wish I could tell you it ended there. I wish I could tell you, yeah, that's what you get. Now comes the sick, deranged. Whether you want to consider this a curse or a benefit is up to you, but there is not safe for work accessories in this. So Mr. Mummy comes with a gigantic phallus, a mummified phallus with low-hanging fruit and everything, okay? So that's like, wait, what? This same phallus can be attached to her and you can go futanari if that's like your bag. So you get that option. The other option is that she comes topless. So you can exchange her out for a pure naked boobas, or another weird ass option where she's these little pieces of fabric are lifted up and she has multiple hand gestures that can be grabbing that to make it look like she's lifting it up, and you can of course see things there. So this is a choose your own adventure. You can choose safe for work or you can choose not safe for work. It's up to you. So regardless of whether it was going to come with that kind of weirdness, I was going to get this version anyway for the robot. So yeah, and I'm going to show this stuff on camera. So straight up, guys, gals, trigger warning. There is going to be lewd stuff being shown in this video. If this ain't your bag, I suggest you stop this video now and, don't view it. You can like, subscribe, all that stuff if you want. It's not really that important to me because I'm doing this because I enjoy this. So in a very small way, I don't really care about getting subs because once I get to the high level of subs, then YouTube will start to care what I post. Right now, they don't really care. So we're going to keep with that. So let's have a look at this box. It's like I said, it's big. All right, so as you can see, I know there might be a glare, but let's zoom in a little tiny bit. So this is the box in the front. You've been looking at this graphic like all day long. This is it from the side. This is it from the back, and it just kind of shows you some of the options. Let's see if I can, oops. Kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. Sorry, a bit of a bad pun there. And then, you know, the next side, and here's some of her in various poses. Oh, and the robot transforms into, you know, it looks like a cross. I think it was supposed to be an Ankh, but Ankhs have are missing the center piece here. But, you know, whatevs, whatever your bag is. The bottom is just cardboard. It's not sealed, at least not on any edges. I did kind of sort of open it to make sure I got everything before I did all this, but there's no special reveal to be had here, so I'm just going to lifty, right? Okay. Now, prepare thyself for madness. Okay, so let me... Oh, by the way, I ended up getting batteries because this thing, the robot has LED lights for his eyes. And there's a bit of a surprise on how that works. So let's take a look. Okay. So these are the DX parts that you get, the clear plastic, right? Nothing too special. These are your various hands that you can get, various pairs. I think some of them are DX. Now this also comes with, and I don't understand this, but you know, maybe somebody out there in the audience can help me out here. It seems they are giving you an extra piece here that absolutely does not belong, right? And I don't know who it goes to. I don't know if it's meant to be, I don't know. I don't know yet. I think it goes to somebody else and they just figured, screw it, let's put something there. You got me, right? Yeah, these are parts, I think, for the robot. I'm going to put those to a different side. These are jewel bits, and I think these largely go to the robot. This does go with her. These are the standard version parts. I think those go to the feet. So that goes to her. Here's some fleshy bits. Legs, joints for the legs. And that's because you can have her bare-legged or you can have her armored. Your choice. I don't know who these go to. I'm going to say that. Oh, that's a robot because the fingers and stuff. This is more robot, mummy. And oh, look, more robot, mummy. And then, in case you were wondering, more robot mummy. Yeah, folks, I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into here. This is going to take for freaking ever to build. Whatevs, Joe, right? More fleshy bits. Legs. It also comes with this weird mummified character in flesh. But yeah, fleshy bits. And look, more fleshy bits for you and me. And all of our enjoyment, fleshy bits. Now this is, I'm going to go with this being the staff. This is the staff bits. Now, here's something else. You have to build your own stands. You know how sometimes these Japanese figures come with stands? Well, you have to build your own. Yeah, they're not going to make it easy for you. You're going to be building your own stand, gosh darn it. Or dag nabbit. Or fudge nugget. Well, that's going to stay there. And yeah, look, 2 sets of stands because one for the robot, one for the girl, right? Now, this is unusual. So this splits the box in half. Now, okay, so you see that? You see that thing right there? It's a penis! That's right. Mummified pee-pee and a garter belt so that so-and-so, the girl can wear it, you know, and there's I'm sorry, oops, I don't know if I saw that, flaccid version, and yeah, testiculars, yeah, fun nuggets. And look, you can even have it, you can even make the tiny little emblem guy be the low hanger here. And then you get, look, more hands. But it's weird. It comes sealed in this plastic. That's just really unusual. Here is armored legs and her, I forgot what those things are called when it hangs down between your crotch, and her arms. And here's her hair. Yeah, right, I'm not done yet. So here are bone white faces for the mummy and more little kind of jaw bits for the mummy, I guess is the way to put it. Okay, now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Here are faces. So these are pre-sculpted, pre-painted, right? This one is blank, but you'll notice there's no, it has not been sculpted. So even when you put the decals on, they're not going to go, they're not going to be textured for sculpting. All right, now comes the X-rated stuff, sort of. So there's the LED for the robot. There's commonly what we call bubes. They're bubes. And these are socketed bubes for you to put stuff in. It's just silly. Pure silliness. Now you get a magnet, nuts and bolts for the thing, and a little, like, a tool. And, oh yes, so this is her buttocks, which I thought was interesting. You get a buttocks pre-made for you, and the hip thing pre-made for you, and these are her normal boobs, which is, you know, standard fare. Then you get El Manuel. That's right, the Destructions. It's a really cool artwork on it, similar to the box, and you get this cool sketchy sketch of the character, which is also really cool. And it pretty much outlines all the instructions on what you are to do. And I'm going to be needing that. There ain't no question about it. And oh, look. Japanese writings of things I don't know. Yay. Even though I took 2 years of Japanese, that does not help me at all. Now here is the decal sheet. Let's see if I get this right. So like, for example, this, the sadness, embarrassed, like some of these ones down at the bottom are, you can make up, like, I figure you could just cut out the whole face and make whatever face that is, or you can take bits and parts and make your own expression from a mix of all the different ones. There's more blush, various blush points, and you can't see it, but there are like tears and sweat there, and worriness, and more blush, or, you know, just, you know, sickness. I don't know. And then there are other decals in there which I guess you can't see, but they're jewels for the staff and for her armor. So it's gonna be a fun job, yo. Anyway, I'm thinking of making a montage video of me trying to make this thing where you won't be hearing me scream and yell and curse and all that great, wonderful stuff. You'll get future me later when she's all completed, if she's all completed. Now, there are a couple of things that I ordered that are not here. Like, I bought some cement because one of the things when I was looking at reviews of this from other people is they had a tendency to just put this thing together quickly, and they didn't seal the seams, so she looked kind of broken in certain areas that it hurt my OCD something first. But yeah, so this is going to take a while, folks. It's going to take a while. But I'll be back, so I say. All right, I am as done as I'm going to be with this. So the decals were a bit of a chore because since they're water based, I'm not sure if they're really attaching with glue, if they're attaching with some kind of surface tension. But because they're so small and dainty and stupid, you'll put one on, and as you try to put the other one on, the other will slip off, and you're just like, I finally gave up on one of the pieces and say, you know what, I'm painting it. So in all the small pieces, I decided to paint, and I'll show you that here. So on this woman, all right, going to manual focus here for a second. So I painted her neck area. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So yeah, I painted the neck area because putting it on was a pain in the ass. Also, because of her articulation, when you move her head back, this necklace will unhinge. And so even in the instructions, it tells you, hey, you might want to consider gluing it. So I did. I super glued it. I'm not sure if it's dried yet, so I'm not going to mess with it just yet. But I also put the decals on her armor thing here. There are decals on her knees, decals on her shield, and a little bit of weird wash that didn't work as well as I wanted for the lines. And on the staff, I painted the blue and green because it was just too much of a pain in the ass. And I mean, it goes all the way down to like the little spiky part. See that? So they're all over the place. So yeah, I didn't do anything to the robot. I left the robot as is. But let me try to at least give you an idea. So there's extra bits and pieces. So there is this thing. Now this is an additional flap for her crotch area, I guess. And yeah, it fans out, and you can, paint app it up. But that's the thing that it can attach as an alternative, because you can add like this dude. Now I put a wash on him so that he would stand out, and it was just really a test to see how it would work. But you could put him there, right? But that's not all that you can put there. So yeah, that weird contraption, but you can also do, now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you this mostly because YouTube's not gonna understand the context. But there's this, okay? You can have dude with ball sack with his thing, or you can have ball sack with lymph, just like a flaccid thing. And those also attach. Now this is a garter belt for the missus. And so you can give her a strap on with any of those, in any combination of. You can have it with ball sack, without ball sack, with guy, without guy. I mean, just the Japanese, man, they have prepared for it all. So you get one of these weird guys in both bronze, you get the weird guy in flesh, don't know why, and you get the weird guy in bone white, if that's your thing. Don't know why. The skeletal guy comes with a number of faces. You can have one with his kind of mouth open. You can have one where he's licking his lips. You have to paint it, paint the tongue. I obviously have not done that. I don't know if I'm getting this. I think I'm at the max here. You get him supposed to be kissing, like kissy face skull, just whatever, man. Whatever. And another one which I don't really understand. It's just kind of, I don't know, something. He's something. Now, there's this where, you get something where you can make it look like she's undressing herself. You get on both sides, doofy. You get, you don't have to have her in armor. You could have her bare-legged with regular knees, but you can't really get rid of the feet per se. The sandals, you can kind of sort of undo it, but it doesn't really work out. Oh, by the way, you can change out her horns and make them more solid if you want. So all the parts that are clear, you can also make solid, which gives you the option of having down horns, I guess, or no horns, if it's your choice. Choose your own adventure, as a certain YouTuber would say. Now it comes with these additional, these are more oriented to armor. Like they're the same shape as the armor, but they're flesh, and that uses the same joint as the armor, but it's flesh. My theory is that you're meant to paint this whatever color you want, but that's just my guess, because I don't know, because the instructions don't tell you. Now she comes with so many different hands. So you can get, I have her with a grippy hand and a relaxed hand, but the DX version comes with a suggestive hand. Now you can make this create a heart if you want. So like, for example, if you wanted to do one of these. Okay, but I don't think that's what they originally wanted you to do with these. Just my thought process there. You get 2-finger salute or peace sign, your choice. You get a thumbs up. If I could show it. Thumbs up. Sure, why not, right? Thumbs up. You get whatever kind of hand this is supposed to be. And you get the accusatory holding, pointing finger, but it can also grip, I guess. So, I mean, you get a lot. And you also get rock and roll hands. I guess if you put a tattoo on it, it would look, or a henna tattoo or something, it would also be cool. And you get fists. So, in case you need to punchy, punchy, punch. And that's about it. And it's double for each one, so it's like 2 of each hand. Like I said, you get a huge array of options. And like I said, you get all these different stands. And this dude, I'm gonna lower him a little bit so I can see. He can actually transform into different parts, and there's a lot of stuff that's movable on him, like his head, his little tassels, his arms completely move. They're very well articulated. All the different fingers are articulated. He can grip, he can make it fall off. It's not that big of a deal. It's easily put back on. And it's like that because, like, you know, when you transform, you got to pull this up and fold it in, and it's just like any other kind of transformer you can possibly imagine. These fins move, pop in and out. His back also unfolds because you have to fold things in. Tail moves. These little things here move. Just so incredibly articulated. But that is not really the coolest thing. I will show you the coolest thing. I'm going to switch to this. Okay, now, one of the coolest features, I'm going to turn this light off because you'll understand why in a second. Anyway, this is supposed to work. There we go. Yay. You see that? His eyes have started to glow. So his eyes glow when you tap him with the, or turn off. See? Turn on. And turn off. Oops. So anyway, the magnet that you put in the staff activates the LED. And so that's That's what he gets. It's kind of cool. And her articulation is very interesting. So, you know, obviously you get like a pinless. It is sort of double jointed. I mean, either way, you can get all the range of motion. Here's something that I like a lot. Okay, other than her backside, of course, but the it's got scapula. I don't know if you're seeing that. Let me get where you can see it. So these scapula moves. I mean, it's like a complete array of motion. And of course, she can bend back, lurch forward, twist from side to side, go from side to side. She can look up when her head falls off. Move her head around. Oops. She's a little fragile-y in the sense that, you know, she's modular. She could fall apart, so you really just have to get her in whatever pose. These things we can move in all different directions. You can make her do basically whatever the frag you want. This annoyance. Sorry, my wife gave me an ultimatum of stopping, so I'm kind of in a hurry, which I hate because there's a lot to cover. The staff, the fins can go down. This flap moves up and down. These move up and down and actually move around because they're not tight. Pinless, double jointed knees. Obviously leg cut. There is no boot cut, but I mean, technically speaking, you could probably rotate it around if you want. So it's not that big of a deal. The toes go up and down. All in all, it's just a fantastic figure. You just got to be a little carefully. So when I get the cement and I make her more solid, she'll be a little easier to handle. But that's her in a nutshell. This has been an experience, that is for sure. And she can just peg into her little stands that you make, and it's very substantial, and I love it. So yeah, there they are. I'm probably going to move into photos at some point, but that's Dark Advent Undress. Undeaddress, sorry. Very, very interesting. I almost kind of wish it was a completed figure so that it would have a little more durability, but very awesome. And you get a whole host of different leftovers. I mean, just all these different parts left over, including stand stuff. Anyway, photos. You know, I almost forgot to do a comparison that I had been wanting to do since I've been getting some of these anime style figures. Now, what I absolutely love about this is how closely matched they all are. Supposedly, these are actually like 1/10 scale, I think, is what they're supposed to be. She's 1/10, and I think she is as well. I could be wrong. And I could have swore she was supposed to be 1/12, but it doesn't matter because for whatever reason, they're identical in terms of style, in terms of size, in terms of articulation type. I find that they're extremely compatible. And that's kind of the funny thing, you know, when I was growing up, I suppose you could say, in like the late 90s or so, you know, there were various forms of art styles where it concerned anime. You know, the very, very different, drastic even. But it almost feels like with these figures, they've kind of coalesced into just one actual visual style, and that they're all going to just move from there because the faces are kind of the same. The eye structures are similar. There, just kind of want to zoom in on their faces there a little bit, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Same stature, same large chest, and same kind of facial structure. They really exist in the same universe to me, even though they're made by 3 different companies, Snail Shell, Figma, and SkyTube. It's hard to tell sometimes because when these anime figures come out, there's like 6 different sponsors, I guess, or designer. Who knows? It gets confusing. Anyway, I just wanted to do that quick comparison because it's really awesome. The only thing I would add, of course, is that like these 2 figures here, the Milk Girl and the Bunny Girl, they're heavy. Like they're made of heavier plastics, and she isn't. She's hollow for the most part, and so is very lightweight. So that's kind of a difference. She's slightly fragile, and also I want to note that I had a lot of trouble with the decals just coming off, ripping off. Like on the knees, for example, I ended up having to paint them manually because the decal just accidentally scraped off. I know there's probably some chemical out there you can put on them to make them permanent, but I don't have it. So I was even thinking about trying to buy some liner paint to fill in some of those lines and make it look even better, but I don't know. I have a feeling I'll screw it up. Anyway, that's all. Just moving on to photos.